Yes, it is me again. We are here to make our final study tool for Friday's test. And this time we need a sheet of paper. It could be blank, it could be lined paper, it doesn't really matter. And you need some scissors and you need a pencil. I guess you could write in pen. Doesn't really matter. I'm not going to collect these from you. You're going to make flashcards. I know we're used to making foldables, but this time I'm going to have you make flashcards, and then you'll actually have a list of the 7 regions so that you can look at that when you're trying to finish labeling your map. All right, so hopefully you have those items. You need this sheet of paper first, and we want to make 8 sections in this. We're going to end up cutting them out. So to start off, fold your paper hamburger in half, and then you're going to do that again. So it looks like that. So all I did was I folded the hamburger and then I folded it up one more. Now you're going to take that and flip this over from side to side. So it's kind of like a hot dog fold. And it's like this cute little teeny tiny piece of paper. And when you open it up, there we go. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nice little equal sections. I know we only have 7 cultural regions, but couldn't really figure out the way to get this to fold to make 7 nice little square sections. So I'm gonna have you cut these out now. Cut them out. I'll do this right along with you. Get myself a brand new nice pair of scissors. It's the little things in life, I tell ya. If you actually have note cards, this would be a great time to use those. You could just use little note cards like this. I was gonna use those, but I'm like, I don't wanna show off that I have my note cards at home, because I had them before. Pre-pandemic, I didn't have to run out to the store to get them. I don't want you having to run out to the store, so paper is fine. But again, if you have a note card, that would work as well. All right, so we now have 8 little pieces of paper. You only need 7, so take one of those and make it rain. Goodbye. Gone. Okay, so we're gonna start off. We're gonna write a cultural region on one side, and on the opposite side, you're going to write a little description. What I'm gonna want you to be able to do on your test is I give you the description, and you have to be able to match which region goes with that description. Okay, now it's gonna be in like complete sentences in a nice paragraph form on your test, but I'm just gonna use kind of little bullet points for this, just to make it a little bit easier for us. Let's make it a little bit closer. Okay, so the first one we're gonna do is the Plateau region. So grab one of your cards, and on one side I want you to write Plateau. The Plateau region, that was that big region in the center. And flip that over. Okay, bullet point number 1, located between Cascade and Rocky Mountains. I'm just gonna write BTW, Cascade. I think they did a lot of dishes there. Haha. Cascade and Rocky Mountains. Hot summers. Freezing winters. Okay, and then they had large rivers. And we're gonna just name one tribe. So we can write the Yakima tribe. That was one of the tribes that lived there. So basically what I'd want you to be able to do on your test is to read these clues that are all there. And they'll all be in one chunk. It'll say, this region is located between the Cascade and Rocky Mountains. It has hot summers and freezing winters. Large rivers provide water. Home to the Yakima tribe. And you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the Plateau region. I remember studying for that. I studied for like 3 hours for that test. I better get an A, right? Exactly what you're gonna say. Okay, Plateau, done. Scooch it off to the side. Our next one is southeast. Southeast. Remember, there's a southeast and there's a southwest. Okay, we don't want to confuse the two. Southeast, that's the one that's kind of underneath where we are in the eastern woodlands. So that's where you go down and then you go over to the right. So flip it over. And this one extends from the Atlantic Ocean. Extends from, I'm just going to say Atlantic, along the Gulf of Mexico, to East Texas. And you should also know that it's hot and humid, especially in the summer. So hot and humid. Okay, part of this region has swamps. So we can just say part has swamps. Remember with the alligators and the snakes? And it's home to the Seminole tribe. So again, this will be in paragraph form, and you'll be able to read this and say, oh yeah, that's the southeast. I remember it's south and to the east because that's where Florida is, and Florida has the swamps. Okay, so you've got this, move it away. Now we're gonna do the southwest, opposite side of the map. Southwest. Okay, flip that over. All right, this stretched from the southwestern United States. So we can just say, well, let's say stretched. Stretched from the southwestern United States, let's say southwestern US, to northern Mexico. All right, they had mesas, which is one of your vocabulary word, deserts, canyons. This is where they had the scorching summers and the opposite in the winter, freezing winters. So scorching summers, freezing winters. And this was home to the Hopi tribe. So again, when you're taking your test, you're not going to have to list all that out. I'm going to list all this out, and you're going to say, okay, that's the southwest, because it says right here that it stretched from the southwestern United States to northern Mexico, and that is one way you can connect it, right? And again, if I wrote too fast, just pause this screen right here, finish writing, and then stop the pause, press play. Okay, now we're going on to the Great Plains. Great Plains. Okay, turn it over. All right, this was the one that covered the huge area from the Mississippi River, Mississippi, every single time. Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. And this was home to grazing animals. Because it was grasslands. And the tribe there, you need to know it was the Sioux. S-I-O-U-X tribe. And again, if you're still writing, press pause, finish writing, press play. Okay, 3 more. Set that off to the side. We're now on the California InterMountain. California InterMountain. And turn it over. Okay, this one was from the Pacific coast to the Sierra Nevada mountains. And we have a region that is part desert with, that's my fancy way of writing with, W with a slash, extreme hot and cold temperatures. I'm just gonna say temps for temperatures. That's what happens with the desert. Super hot in the day, at nighttime, not so much. Okay, and then this is the one where we have the redwood forests. And the tribe I'd like you to know is the Pomo tribe. So you'll be given that description and you'll have to be able to say, oh yeah, that's a California InterMountain region. And I just always remember the redwood forest and connect that with California. So maybe you can too. Let's turn that over. Eastern woodlands, it's our turn. Eastern woodlands. Turn it. All right, this went from the Mississippi River. I'm gonna do it again. Mississippi River to the Atlantic coast. And we know this because of where we lived, 4 seasons. You can definitely tell the difference. They're 4 distinct seasons. And we have a lot of forests. And those are home to turkey, deer, beavers, and more, but those are the 3 that I think I will list. And we had the Algonquin tribes in this region. Algonquin. Oops, I think it should be I-A-N. So after the Q, we're gonna go I-A-N. And now I just wrote the next word there, sorry. Tribes. I'm trying to record these all in a row. I'm losing my mojo. So Algonquin tribes. Hopefully yours looks a little nicer than that. All right, we're on our last one. Do you remember which one it is? Which one we've missed so far? This one is the Northwest Coast. All the way up at the top. Northwest Coast. Turn it over. Okay, so this one is that little narrow ones. We can say narrow strip along the Pacific coast. From Alaska to California. Okay, and here we have dense forests. There's lots and lots of trees. And rocky beaches. There's a mild climate. Rainy. And there's lots of wildlife. So we're gonna say fish, whale, deer, there's quite a variety, elk, and bears. Okay, so what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to read the description and know which region it is talking about. One thing that might be helpful for you to do is to make a list of the 7 regions. So like just write on a list: Plateau, California, Intermountain, Northwest Coast, Southeast, Eastern Woodlands, Great Plains, and Southwest. On a separate little sheet of paper, write those 7 out so that as you are reading the clues, you have a list to look at, because on your test, you're going to have a list to look at, okay? So that could be something else that's helpful for you. All right, you definitely have all the tools you need to ace this test. Good luck. Thanks for your hard work.